Thank you so much, Morgan. And so I'm here, yes, as your Secretary of State, but I'm also here as a Rhode Island Historical Society member. Yay! So, just for the record. And yes, I want to acknowledge, of course, our wonderful visitors from Smithsonian, Harold and Jennifer, and of course our wonderful Lieutenant Governor. But I want to give a particular shout out to the person who really did a lot for introducing me to Rhode Island history and called all sorts of materials and information out for me, and that's my husband Steve, who's in the back. And you know, it was through him and through a lot of what he was learning as we moved, because we're both, he's from Washington State, I'm from Puerto Rico, and so we're both fairly new Rhode Islanders, and I say that with pride, Rhode Islander. And he was the one who really awoke in me this amazing pride for being part of a community that through the centuries has led the way for this country. I of course want to acknowledge two fabulous staff members over at the Department of State, and that is Tom Evans and Gwen Stern. Tom is our state librarian, and Gwen Stern is our state archivist. And it's wonderful. People ask me, you know, how does it feel to be, you know, Secretary of State? I'm like, I get to go to work every day and do all these wonderful things and work with wonderful people. And Tom and Gwen are part of that team, and it's great. And so congratulations, Historical Society, as a member. I am very excited that we're now part of the Smithsonian. And I'm looking to see how that shapes out in the membership stuff. And as the mother of 3 young girls, even more so, who have had the opportunity, a couple of years ago we went down and saw only a piece, take it a piece at a time. And how this is going to really enrich our ability to highlight Rhode Island and Rhode Island history. And it does 2 things. One is, yes, there's that civic pride of getting people to know that we play this important role. There's an economic development part of it as well. Tourism is a great booster. I mean, I was recently over our break right after inauguration, over spring break with the girls and Steve in Pennsylvania. And we stopped in, you know, we went to like Amish country, and then we went to Valley Forge on the way to Philadelphia, part of our sort of road trip. And I'm walking into Valley Forge, and we're looking at this timeline, and actually it was my husband who pointed it out, because I was busy kind of running around to make sure nobody was doing damage to anything, or running into the gift shop for too long. But so we look at the historical board, and sure enough, the first mention is the Boston Tea Party, not the burning of the Gaspee. And that already set me on edge. But what really put it over the edge was they actually have New Hampshire as the first state to declare independence. And so I went up to the very next park ranger and said, hi, I'm sorry, I'm the Secretary of State of Rhode Island, and we have a problem with your board here. Who do I need to talk to? And so I got the information, sent in a letter, and actually just received a response a few weeks back. Very apologetic, pointing out all the ways in which Rhode Islanders are actually recognized throughout the park and Nathaniel Green and all this. But in the end, we have to make sure that Rhode Island history is recognized. We really were the beacon of the start of this country in many, many ways. And so it's critically important to be able to support these efforts here locally at the Historical Society, as well as in this new initiative at the Smithsonian. And I'm, you know, as your Secretary of State, I want to make sure that Rhode Islanders are engaged and empowered. And part of the way that you do that is by knowing the history of the community that you are a part of. And, you know, yes, there's been some times when possibly it hasn't been so great, but for every one of those, there's a lot of things that we can be proud of. And you learn from the ones that wasn't so great, and you move on and highlight the parts that we can lead with. And I am deeply committed to making sure that our children understand and value Rhode Island's history as part of the making of this country. And so I am thrilled beyond measure to be here. And I have to say that as somebody who before she was Secretary of State was part of the Rhodey project with Morgan, Morgan called me in and asked me to be a part of. I am so thrilled by how the Historical Society is so much more than what people's stereotypes are of historical societies. It is really becoming a community gathering place for a variety of communities. And that is the key to the success of this historical society today and in its future. And so kudos to the board members, to the staff for everything you're doing. Morgan and I and Gwen and a number of other people are kind of have some stuff that we're kind of thinking about in the background. It's only been 7 months yet, so we're not quite there yet to announce. But I see a lot of fun things that we're going to be able to do in partnership with the Historical Society, with our state archives. And so thank you, because this is all going to play out in really great ways over the next few years. Thank you very much.
So as you can see, there's a lot of excitement around all of this, and again, you get to see a little bit of the excitement that I get to have every day when I come in, and the great folks that I get to work with. So thank you all for being here tonight. Please stay, take a look around the first floor. We also have some of those objects that we're talking that should be headed south sometime soon. And so a few of those pieces have been put out for you to take a look at. And also we have refreshments in the back. Please stay. Harold and Jen are going to stay so they can answer questions for you about Smithsonian related things, and a lot of our staff is here. So thank you all for being here. I also want to say, because I'm not seeing everybody, that one of our former board members, George Goodman, should be here somewhere too, and I didn't recognize him earlier. So, I just wanted to say thank you all for being with us tonight for those great announcements. And please stay, eat, drink, be merry. Thank you all.